Let's talk about user testing. If you are in a large company, you might work with UX researchers to conduct usability testing sessions. But there will always be cases where you as a designer has to do the entire usability study session by yourself. That's why I'm going to take you through how to plan and conduct a usability testing session. I'll also share with you a Miro template at the end of this video, so make sure you keep watching. Why should you do user testing? User testing is the most direct way to understand whether whatever you designed makes sense for the audience. For every $1 invested in user experience research, you save $10 in development and $100 in post-release maintenance. So, do more user testing, help your company save more money. And when shall you do user testing? The earlier, the better. Anytime, whenever you feel like you're not sure about whether your design is making sense. Let's say your company helped you to gather around 5 participants for a quick user testing session. This is what you shall do. I personally like to plan within a Miro board. Miro is a tool that all of my user researchers friends use, and if you can use Figma, this will be super intuitive as well. Miro is also the sponsor of this video, so thank you very much. The first thing you shall do is to dump all the background information. What is the project or the product you are working on? Explain its current phases. What are the stakeholders for this project? Who is planning this research? Who's doing this research? Who's driving this project? And who will be impacted from this research? If there's other background or links that can be included, you can also dump it in the third section. If there's a clear timeline, you can also put it here. Now let's go to the planning section where the most magic happens. And before you go into the planning session, you shall have 1 or 2 Figma prototype ready. And you probably have an idea of what you want to test. Usually it is, I want to test this latest iteration of my design so that I can iterate upon this design and then provide a finalized version. Now, for research questions and hypotheses you want to test, you can actually plan this session out with other designers or other product stakeholders. So what I often do is that I hold a Zoom call, I invite other people in, I send them this Miro link, and then everyone just type together on the notes, and then we highlight whichever hypothesis that we think is the key for testing out. These hypotheses are usually parts of design that you are unsure about. The next thing you shall do is to come up with a few KPIs or metrics. These are things that you can count that will also reflect how good is your product. Then there's a small section for you to write out the methodology. Methodology include, do you want to do this in person? Do you want to do it over Zoom call? If you're using Zoom versus Google Meet, make sure you understand how to record things in different products. Make sure you set the user testing time to the right time zone. And here, you also need to plan out who you are going to recruit as participants for this user testing session and how many you are going to recruit. This decision will be made based on who will be the key target audience for your product, who are you able to reach, the resource you are going to have, and also the time allowance. Then you can write out a basic scripts. For scripts, I often do 4 parts. The first part is intro. Ask them about their basic information and then tell them what this section is about. Tell them there's no right or wrong answer in this section, and then we're just looking for an honest feedback. Then we can go to the user testing part, where as a designer, we will share a Figma prototype link. When you share someone a Figma prototype link, there's no need for them to share the screen because you can simply click on their icon on the prototype page, and then whenever you click on that icon, you can shadow their actions. During this user testing stage, you'll be asking them to complete the few actions you wanted to test out, and once they complete each action, you can ask them a follow-up question regarding how do you like about it, what can be better. And finally, ask a few follow-up questions regarding how do they feel about the overall design. Do they find it easy to understand, difficult to understand, what can be improved upon? For the next section, you can just paste in your Figma prototype links to here. Now, after you recruited these participants, note that down into this field. You can put in the participant name and then the session time. And during the section, all you need to do is follow the script. You don't have to exactly follow the script, but the overall structure needs to be following the script, and you need to be aware of the time. It would be great if you can set up the section in a way so someone can quietly take notes for you or record the session yourself and take note later on. So here's some tips for note-taking. For the background section, you can color that in yellow. You can start all the general notes with orange general stickers. Once the session is over or during the session when you have time, you can group things into different categories. I mostly use these categories. Blue stands for emotions. When are they showing happiness? When are they showing confusions? When are they showing surprises? Note those down. Green stands for likes. What did they say about what they like? And then pink stands for dislikes. Here's a tip for note-taking. Don't try to paraphrase. Just note down what exactly are these users saying. Because whenever you try to paraphrase, it kind of changes the feeling. So keep the grammar mistakes the user were making. Don't try to clean things up for them. Now after each session, review all these notes and then pick out the insights that you find very valuable for the next step. You can first put it in the general notes section on the right side of each box. The next step is to synthesize everyone's answer and then bring them into a visualization or some sticker notes. You can bring the most important insights here and then summarize them into different categories. Once this is done, highlight the areas you want to focus on for the next iteration. Remember, you don't have to use every single thing the user said, and you don't have to make 100% of the users 100% happy. Usually, I try to figure out what are some small design changes that I can make to make big impact for the users. If you like this Miro template, go click the link in the description. And thank you Miro for sponsoring today's video. Miro is a leading visual collaboration platform that empowers collaboration across different teams, across different time zones. It's super intuitive to use, and it is very popular in the tech industry. So many of my UX researchers' co-workers are using Miro, and it's also free. Let me know if you find this video helpful. Good luck with your next user testing session. I'm Aliena, I talk about design, I talk about tech. If you like my video, subscribe to my channel and turn on all notifications and follow me on Instagram. Thank you so much. See you next time.